must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one. Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one. Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one. Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one. Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one. Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one. Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
And the violence that seems to have erupted in the southeast.
Well, what we are seeing in the southeast is synchronized violence, synchronized by certain people, definitely not by Igbos.
Okay.
Those people who are doing that are foreigners. If you see a group of Igbo people moving, from their physiognomy, you will know. Now, one of the things that people did in the southeast was to get close to them, speak Igbo to them, and without exception, they responded in broken English. And you saw the other man speaking on Sunday, being displayed by the police as the only surviving person among those who attended to burn the prisons again. The man was given an Igbo name. And when he spoke, he had a northern accent. But back to your question about what is really happening. In the past 2 years or more, the clamor for a president of Nigeria coming from the southeast has been on. And if you notice, up to the past 3 months, there was no problem in the southeast. 4 months. What happened? Suddenly, if you read some papers published in Abuja, you see Igbos are killing Northerners. You call those in the south, they say, what are you talking about? It has nothing to do with any Igbo man or any Northerner. What we are witnessing is a programmed action by some people to destabilize the southeast, indeed the whole of Igbo land, with a message: Igbo land is unstable. If you're unstable, how then can you produce a president? That is the real key in issue. The herdsmen have always been there. But if you notice, for the past 3 or 4 months, issue of the herdsmen had died down. Except in Ebonyi State, where up to last Sunday, the herdsmen were still killing people.
But we cannot deny the fact that these destruction and arson attacks are taking place in the southeast region on security formations, on electoral body, INEC offices, and of course killing of the security officials themselves. So the question is, how does this make a call or a point for, or an argument for inclusion? If you say marginalization and inequity has been, the reason for this clamor, and some will say for the clamor of cessation, how do these arson attacks and killings and destruction make a point for inclusion? And who stands to benefit from these attacks? Why have they not gone? Why do they continue to recur, in your opinion?
First correction is this: who is doing the destruction?
Exactly.
Who is attacking police formations? Who is attacking the INEC? If you notice the targets: election conducting body, security body. In the first place, Igbos are not destroyers. Igbos are builders. Since the end of the war, the federal government has not been building police stations in the Igbo land. Every structure you see there, apart from the old prisons in the world, which was built in the 1950s, is the result of the contribution of... I'll give you an example. I come from a Himembano local government of Imo State. Recently, the police divisional quarters was destroyed, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. What most people don't know is that building was built by the community, Nusu community, and donated to the police last December. So why will the people who built turn around to destroy? For what purpose? The average Igbo man knows that those who are doing the destroying are not Igbos. The special squad of security men sent by federal government are also not Igbos. Okay. So it's a case of the policemen will come, shoot into the air, stray bullet will land on people. And then the unknown gunmen will move around in brand new Hilux trucks. Shoot into the air, with faces covered. Once in a while, people will get close and do like this, and then they take closer look at them.
So if you say the Igbos are not destroying, who then is carrying out this attack?
The unknown gunmen. It is not by accident that they call them unknown gunmen. That's why I said, if you go to Alaba today, you know there's an Igbo section. If you see there, from the physiognomy, you say these are Igbos. If you turn towards the right, you see Alaba Rago. That's where the Hausas, the Hausa traders are. You also see their physiognomy. If I go to Jankara Market here in Lagos, you don't need to be told these are Yorubas. So if the unknown gunmen cover their faces, once in a while people go, they speak Igbo to them, sing in Igbo, they won't even respond.
This is quite a strong...
It is a revelation.
Yeah.
But the biggest problem they have now in Igbo land is that if they see somebody of my age, they will go after me. Police will arrest me and call me a financier. If they see my son, they will grab him and say he's an activist. Send him to the police station, military barracks, or anywhere. You have to run around to get him out. And you know what it means to Nigeria for someone to run around. I don't mean real race. You have to do something. Otherwise, you see him on TV the next day confessing to things he did not do. Because when they torture you, you have no option. And remember, Archbishop Obinna, the Archbishop of the Catholic Diocese, last Sunday came out almost weeping that the morgue where they keep dead bodies, that place is overflowing. 35 unidentified bodies. The Nigerian Bar Association came out and said, we have set up a unit to liaise with the police commission. That's how they have been able to rescue some people, including the man who came from Bayelsa, who was going to buy a casket for his father-in-law's burial. The one was grabbed and displayed on TV as the high-ranking chief.
Permit me to just interject, because you're making strong assertions, and we wonder why this hasn't come to light in a more public forum. But let me just ask, what we do know, though, is that there was I'm glad you said you're from Imo State. Yes. There was a sit-at-home order, and it would seem that largely it was obeyed. So that would then beg the question, who is in charge? You know, we want to bring up the issue of IPOB because they've made certain assertions. And then we want to ask the question as well regarding Imo State. It's hard to put this. There have been assertions by people in Imo State that since the current governor came into being, that Imo State hasn't known peace. So suggesting that his coming in as governor has also triggered some of these violent attacks. What's your take on that?
Let me take it one by one. Issue of sit at home. To observe a day for our departed brothers, those who died during the war, has been on since 1970. So it depends on the government of the day to make it a focal point.
No, I'm talking about how it was enforced. There was intimidation behind it.
No, there was no intimidation. Listen, what you saw was what we call a charade. Some people will wear black and red and be moving around. You think the Igbos are not Igbos. That's the point I was making. The unknown gunmen are not Igbos. As for day of mourning, it's observed every year. You have seen the one of 30. September 9, some people will also observe their own. They don't make noise about it. They just call their own Yom Kippur. We call our own mourning our dead. 2, IPOB is what I call a phenomenon that has risen because of injustice, because of lack of fair playing ground, because of arrant discrimination. Now, nature abhors vacuum. So whenever there is this kind of lack of inclusiveness, grumbling will come in. All it takes is somebody to harvest that they're grumbling and say, this man is doing something bad. Let's see what I can do. Believe me, the average person will join. On the issue of the governor, I better leave it at that. Is the governor in charge of any security force there? No. If he says something negative, they'll go against him. You know where he lives in Owerri? It's called the fortress. On one side is Army Chief's house, Police Chief, DSS, Air Force. All of them live in a circle. And the police headquarters and the prisons that were just burned down, you just opposite them.
Okay.
CCTV showed all those who do the attacking. Do you know that till today, none of these groups I mentioned ever produced a CCTV?
And I mean, a lot of people watch will be wondering, why is nobody being brought to book? Where are the perpetrators? But in the absence of state police, we've seen vigilantes across the country, states having to form their own vigilantes, and as well as regional security. Same as the Southeast with Ebube Agu. They don't seem to be making much headway. What have the governors got wrong when it comes to security of their states and, of course, the region, Southeast in particular now?
Well, I don't want to call it intimidation from Abuja. I also don't want to call it timidity of the governors. No. Let me say it's a case of 3 political parties having governors in the Southeast. 3 political PDP has 2. That's Enugu and Abia. Enugu has always had a Bibago. They have a name for their own, and they have bosses for them. Abia State, yes, its own is not as elaborate as that of Enugu. Imo State also passed a law a long time ago outlawing open grazing, and they also passed a law establishing a Bibago. But then the governor said he has sent some people to train the military barracks in Anambra State, so that when they come, they form the nucleus. Now, the man in Anambra also has his own. His own method is different, because there are 3 parties. They have different methods. Abga said, okay, if you kill a cow, you pay. If you kill a human being, you pay. And they're enforcing it. So when you're talking of a Bibago to them, they may say we have something different. The man in Igbo, you know, he has just joined APC. And he's also the chairman, so he's been drawn on one side. Unfortunately, his state is the worst hit by the killer herdsmen. Up till this Sunday, we are still killing. Now, the governors are also, well, I think they're handicapped. But remember this, there are killings all over the country, in all the zones. And in terms of number, in terms of statistics, Kaduna State has had more people killed or kidnapped than the whole of Southeast and South put together. Yeah, the IG of police, when he came, he said, I'm concentrating on Southeast and South. In other words, they know what they're doing. So those special squads sent to Imo State because of this crisis, are they putting anything together? Their job is to go and block the road. I saw them. I was there Saturday before last. For me to pass, all the roads were blocked in the city. For me to go to the airport, I had to call one man. When I noticed his less unfriendly appearance, I said, I just joked. He said he was an Ishan man. I said, Ishan Wayo? He laughed. He said, Ishan. I said, okay, Oba talk way. He said, he relaxed. He said, Oga pass. That's how I was able to go to the airport. The next day, Sunday, Golak was killed. The insecurity there is there, but it's artificial. Okay.
You seem to be blaming, sorry, you seem to be blaming everyone else, particularly the federal government, except for those in the region.
Because we are not destroyers. The average Igbo man is a builder. That Owerri airport was built, started by this Ambaku, with people contributing 1 naira. Everything you have in Imo State was built by the people, not by the government.
Okay, let me just bring this in.
The governor of the state himself obeys the sit at home on Monday, and then the civil servants that work in government house obey the sit at home, and government shut down on Mondays. It means the real governor of Southeast is Simon Ekpa, ruling the Southeast from Finland.
Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one. Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one. Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one. Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one. Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
All hail Biafra, land of the rising sun. We love and cherish. We have vanquished our enemies. All hail Biafra. God bless Biafra. In Him we trust. Shout it, sing it. All hail Biafra. God bless Biafra. We have emerged triumphant from all our foes. Through the crucible unscathed, we passed victorious. Our trumpets pealing the glorious song. Play it, sing it, all hail Biafra. Oh, hail Biafra. We shall always remember all that perished in the struggle for our freedom. All hail our heroes. Our prayer shall be known both day and night. Say them always. All
A minute silence to the fallen heroes of Biafra, and the time starts now. We mourn our heroes past, we celebrate them. Our heroes living, and every Biafran that is fighting on to see that Biafra is fully liberated. Thank you for your sacrifices, and the God of Biafra will continue to give you the enablement to pursue the cause of Biafra until we are free. Ise, 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 Ise. Greetings to all Biafrans and lovers of freedom, and everyone that is reaching out to this very program, those that will watch later, and those that will come across it in the nearest future. We bring you warm greetings from the Biafra Republic government in exile and de facto in the homeland. And today, we have come to continue the awareness on the Biafran independence. The Biafran independence is a child born of necessity. Looking at the genocide and the massacre and the marginalization that has existed for years, it is from all this that you can give us a pass mark that Biafra deserves to be independent. The massacre of Christians has spiraled in Nigeria for years. And we want to say a very big thank you to the US lawmakers, most in particular Senator Ted Cruz. All the meetings and engagements of BRGIE with Senator Ted Cruz has come to a good result. It is yielding good fruit. The picture you see on the screen is not a Photoshop, it's real. And when you go to the BRGIE website, you will see this press release that BRGIE Lord Senator Ted Cruz legislation is 2747 against Nigerian government and their officials, Act 2025. We will peruse through this publication before go to the order of the day. So when you go to BRGI website, then you go to the news. Let us go there so that we read our news from there and everybody will see. This is BRGI website. For you to get BRGI website, you may just see it anywhere. You can see it on my profile. Let me take you to my screen on Twitter. You can see it here on my profile. When you click here on my profile, it takes you, this is my Twitter. When you click here, it takes you to the BRGIE website. So I click, the hyper ligation has taken me to the BRGIE website. So I'm now going to where that link was open now. This is where the link was open. And then you come to news. Before you come to news, let me refresh your memory on the diplomatic engagement. Here you can see the people of Chukwukikabiama, that gathered in the US Congress. These are the children of Chukwukikabiama. They gathered in the US Congress to make something remarkable, something historic on the 18th of September 2025. It is from this place, it is from here that you are seeing all the news that is coming against Nigeria today. It is from here, it is from this historic event and every other diplomatic engagement that this BRGIE APM here has been ongoing with the BRGIE lobbies and attorney representation. It is from here that you see Nigeria being spoken about on the international media. Some of you said we were only taking photo. Hey, but you see, the good photo and the back that this APM has been carrying has actually yielded good fruit. So we challenge other people that can carry back. They should also go and carry back and also carry anybody along and snap photo and do whatever. So if you come to this website, you can even screenshot all these photos like this, like a catalog. You can screenshot it like a catalog, and then you can go and share it anywhere you want to share. This is the diplomatic engagement and work of BRGI. Here is Senator Ted Cruz with our APM. And there are several other photos that have not been published here of his meeting with him and the US Congress men and women. So you can as well take a screenshot as the way it is on the screen now. If you so love the display, you can take a screenshot. So this is where the game is happening. And when you come to news, here is the news of the day. We are going to read this news. We read the news. After reading the news, then we go down to what actually brought us here. BRGIE Lord Senator Ted Cruz, legislation S2747 against Nigerian government and officials Act 2024. And this is what Senator Ted Cruz wrote. Nigerian Christians are being targeted and executed for their faith by Islamist terrorist groups and are being forced to submit to Sharia law and blasphemy laws across Nigeria. It is long past time to impose real costs on the Nigerian officials who facilitate these activities. And my Nigeria Religious Freedom Accountability Act uses new and existing tools to do exactly that. I urge my colleagues to advance this critical legislation expeditiously. So this photo you see here is the BRGI APM to the left, then Senator Ted Cruz to the right, after a meeting held in Washington, D.C. Then a cross-section of the US Congressional briefing on Biafra held on 18 September 2025. If you were in this place, that means you are blessed. So the press briefing goes thus. Acting Prime Minister Okechukwu Nkere is proud to announce BRGI's backing of Senator Ted Cruz legislation S.2747 Nigeria Religious Freedom Accountability Act of 2025. The legislation not only redesignates Nigeria as a country of particular concern, but it envisions a sophisticated sanction scheme of Nigerian federal officials, state governors, judges, magistrates, prison officials, and other judicial or law enforcement authorities. It is here that BRGIE has provided the US government all that is needed to know about the complicity of the Igbo terrorist politicians that have aided and abetted the massacre of Biafrans, the kidnapping of Biafrans, the kidnapping of Nnamdi Kanu, the placing of bounty on the head of Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa, the forceful disappearance of Biafrans in Biafra land, and the continuous detention of Nnamdi Kanu till today. That is why our topic says Igbo politicians jails Nnamdi Kanu for jihad, while Boko Haram and Fulani terrorists, governors and ministers and senators, they protect the Boko Haram terrorists. So BRGIE does well by making sure every evidences are provided to the US government, so that all the ministers and senators and governors in Biafra land that have worked so hard to make sure that Biafrans are massacred because of Biafra independence, they will all pay an answer to it. The Accountability Act of US lawmakers is somewhat like the lawsuit that the BRGIE has put up against the saboteurs of Biafra independence in this very dispensation of ours. And we are not looking back. It is called law, and it must be implemented. So, it is not business as usual. It is a new dawn. And in this very new dawn, we have different patterns and different modalities that things are done. So, you are lucky to be amongst this very generation, because what we have not done in several years, we have done it now in this very year. We have done it in 2022, we have done it in 2023, we have done it in 2024, and we have done it in 2025 as we are about to enter 2026. Since 1960 to 2024, there has never been a time that the Biafran people have been so well organized that they have a government and they have a voice to penetrate the US Congress House. Not just to have a voice to penetrate the US Congress House, but for Biafran people to now have a diplomatic seat. They had the opportunity to enter inside the White House, to go and sit down there and have discussion and create awareness about Biafra. That is something that some of you don't understand. That is what is giving birth to this very thing that you see here now. This very post, this very photo that was taken here, some of you take it to be a joke. Today, this very photo that you all made caricature of, this very congressional briefing that you all made caricature of, today, this congressional briefing is speaking volume. The results are numerous. The results have gone haywire, and everybody are running chiki-chaka, chiki-chaka, chiki-chaka. Hey, because you do not understand what it means to be on top of diplomacy. Today, you are beginning to understand. So, the governors, the ministers, tell Enyinnaya Abaribe that it is time to hold him accountable. His name is on the list that the US senators the US lawmakers are going to sanction. Tell him. Tell Peter Obi that his name is on the list. Tell Igbazu that his name is on the list. Tell Peter Mba that his name is on the list. Tell Soludo that his name is on the list. Tell Senator Osita Isunaso, the one that stood in the National Assembly and said, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Senate President, the Senate is worried, Nigeria is worried, that if the activities of Biafra, the activities of Simon Ekpa is not cut short, that they are afraid that the entire Nigerian people will be caught in the web to come to the understanding of the reality. Tell all of them that their names are already on the accountability list of US lawmakers. We are very happy of this accountability list of the US lawmakers. We thank our APM. We thank Mazi Elias. We thank Attorney Dabiri. Yes. The testimony that was submitted to the US Congress, some of you took it for a joke. You did not know the importance of it. But today, everything is yielding fruit. Gradually, 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 gradually. Tell all the governors that partook in the massacre of Biafrans. Tell Wikeo, his name is there. Tell Igbazu, his name is there. Tell Willie Willie is in Texas. Very soon, Willie will be deported from Texas down to Abuja. Let him come and stay in Abuja to go and face the terrorists that he supported and created. So none of you will escape the wrath of this Accountability Act. Yes, because every other administration that has existed, they have just turned their blind eyes on the massacre and the genocide of the Christian people and Biafran people. But the time has come where Biafran people have taken this to the US lawmakers table and calls on them and say, you must act and you must do something. Many of you sit down and you don't know how these publications came about. You don't know. You thought that the US senators, that they just sat down, they woke up, and then they decided to start doing something about one Nigeria. No! They did not just sit down and then stand up and start doing something about one Nigeria. No. No. Biafran people did. The diplomatic engagement gave birth to what you are seeing that is happening to the Nigerian people now. The day you all entered this US congressional building to sit down and talk and create awareness, it was the unlocking key. It was the key to open the door. While every other thing were done and were aligned, you had to go to the US Congress to open the door, the key, to go and put the key. Put the key. You had to go there. You had to go there to put the key and then open the door. Yes, you did the open door on the 18th of September 2025. And after the open door ceremony and hearing that you did in the US Congress, you have seen that every good thing that pertains to humanity is beginning to come out. The media in US is taking the news. The lawmakers are taking the news. Even those that were not interested in the news, because of the fact that you broke the camel's back to enter US Congressional building, the capital of Washington, D.C. You sat down there and you spoke about Biafra for over an hour. That was the opening key. You opened the door. Yes. That is why all the US lawmakers today have the boldness, and all the media houses in America now have the boldness to publish and to write about the massacre of Christians. Yes. Nnamdi Kanu is and was. Nnamdi Kanu is and was a victim of what everybody are crying out today. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a victim of jihad. Yes, he's a victim because he opened his mouth to educate everybody about the massacre of Christians in Nigeria. Dr. Mailafia that did same, he was eliminated. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came to do same. They decided to kidnap him, cage him, and lock him up. Charlie Kirk in America that also came out to open his mouth and talk about it. They shot him on the neck. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a victim of jihad because he stood up to speak against the template that has been launched against all of you, which you all don't even know.
Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one. Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
Nobody is ready to die, and nobody wants to die. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was ready to die, and he put his life for all of you. So, let's come back so that we finish reading this and go to what we actually came here for. So, APM Nkere has announced, APM Nkere has engaged with Senator Ted Cruz and his office over the past year. And he is glad to have been involved in educating the senator and his office of Nigeria's persecution of Biafran Christians. The senator's legislation reflects BRGIE's call for more aggression, legislation holding Nigeria accountable. We want it to be very strict, that all of them, the same way that Ike Kweremaru was held down, we want it to be very strict, that all of them that are accomplices, they will go nowhere. Yes. Wike, you killed Inobibo. Good luck, Jonathan. Many people died under your supervision, and you did not do anything about it. Obasanjo, what happened in Ode massacre? Is there any president and governor that is in Nigeria that they have not used Biafrans to do sacrifice? You know what is happening now? My happiness is that at this very time, Biafran people already laid the foundation and laid the cry and the prayer out, but nobody took us serious. Then we went back to form a defense mechanism to defend Biafra land so that our babies, women, and children, they will not be running away from their slave. They will not be running out of their lands to go to Cameroon to go and seek refuge. When you have your land filled with milk and honey, that is why we have Biafra Defense Forces. While all of you were calling our Biafra Defense Forces criminals and kidnappers and terrorists, what is happening today? Today, you are running away from your lands in Kwara, Borno, Katsina, Kanu, Kaduna, Plateau. You are running away from your whole lands and you are running to go to Cameroon. Between Cameroon and Nigeria, where should somebody be running to if everything were okay? Where do you have everything? Where are you supposed to be more comfortable? But the reverse has been the case because since Yoruba media, the corrupt media, decided to work for the terrorists and to do propaganda, blackmail, and slander against the Biafran people for years, it is time for reckoning. All of you will hear me. The terrorists have not started yet. You will all enjoy it from the beginning to the end. While Biafran people are laughing now, you will all be gnashing your teeth because we have been the bad guys since, right? But we have been doing the dirty job for all of you. Biafran people have been doing the dirty job by taking care and taking out the terrorists for Christians to live in Nigeria for many years now. Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped because of speaking up, because of doing the dirty job for all of you Christians in Nigeria so that you can live. But when Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped through the connivances and the accomplishment of Igbo politicians aligning with the terrorists in Abuja, you all clap. You all clap for the kidnap. They brought him to Nigeria. They televised the announcement of his kidnapping. And all of you in Nigeria were clapping. Yes, you clap. And they did not even give you the broadcast on English. No, they gave you the broadcast on what? Their own local language in the north. They were only addressing the northern people in Nigeria. They were informing the northern people that they have actually captured the Easterner, the Biafran person that is looking for Biafra, the Biafran prisoner that is exposing their terrorist invasion and their act. That is what they did. So they kidnapped him, and they came in public announcement. They made public announcement, and then they say, we have kidnapped him. Oh, this is that man that is trying to expose our plan of destroying Christians. This is that man that is trying to expose our plan of taking over the entirety of Nigeria and killing all of you. So they address all of you in Fude Fude. They did not address any of you in English that you will understand. And all of you were clapping, yes, 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 yes. Nigerian government is working. Today, what is happening to you? I never seen way. Boko Haram will deal with many of you that were clapping for the kidnapping of Nnamdi Kanu. So, you must recall that BRGIE, the acting Prime Minister Nkere, had submitted first ever US congressional testimony on the Biafran issue in modern history, exposing the massacre of Christians in Biafra and Nigeria entirely. This congressional testimony called for sanctions on Nigeria for kidnapping Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya, killing Christians, killing Biafrans, and forceful disappearances because of Biafra independence. While the government of Nigeria aids and abates the terrorists, BRGIE also called for sanctions on Finland for transnational repressions on PM Ekpa Simon Njoko. The testimony is officially a part of the congressional record and is publicly available for viewing on the congressional website. Now, in a post on his official X, formerly Twitter handle, Cruz unveiled that government officials in Nigeria are not only ignoring, but in the same case, facilitating the violence. Officials in Nigeria are ignoring and even facilitating the mass murder of Christians by Islamist jihadist terrorists, the Texas lawmaker wrote. And when you click all these links here, these are reference links. It will take you down there. And this is what the full bill that Senator Ted Cruz has proposed to the US government. So if you click here, it will open and takes you to go and read everything. So do well to visit our Biafran government in exile website so that you can read this news. Then, in encapsulating this, a new report also paints a grim picture of the scale of the crisis, stating that Nigeria has effectively become the headquarters and safe haven for 22 terrorist groups. According to the report, an average of 35 Christians are massacred daily across the country. You read more evidences here. This one is a Bubagu terrorist that is being funded by Nigerian government to kill Biafrans. This one is the inter-society massacre in Eastern Region, Nigeria. This one is the one that Bill Mayer calls on why Christians are massacred and nobody's talking about it. This is a report by Newsweek. This is a report by Fox News. This is another report by Fox News where Pope Leo also lamented about the massacre of Christians. This other one, still another news that came out of massacre of Christians. The Genocide Watch also posted the massacre of Christians. Fox News again also posted. Christian Daily also posted the massacre in Plateau. Fox News also posted again. Sky News also posted the beheading of Christian pastors, the CAN officials in Kaduna. This one is another video where Sky News is enumerating the massacre. So, Senator Cruz is a Republican and has frequently raised concerns about international religious freedom and has called for the US government to take a tougher stance on countries accused of persecution. So, BRGIE leading the front, listen up, BRGIE leading the front, BRGIE leading the front. Human rights groups, including Amnesty International, have similarly accused Nigerian authorities of failing to act decisively against extremist violence in the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom. So when you visit the BRGIE website, you will read this publication. Just come over to the news section and then you read and you see this. These and many more are what the BRGIE are putting up. And if you saw this news coming out and making rounds in the media, you don't know the people that are behind it. We are making it clear for you to understand today now that it is your work as a Biafran who is supporting BRGIE every day, who is supporting the APM, who is supporting the lobbies, who is supporting the attorney, Amendabiri. It is your work, it is your contributions, it is your effort that has made this to come to be. So give glory to yourself and sing praises to yourself because this is what you worked for and this is what you have made to happen. Without you, this will not happen. So don't allow anybody to come and take your glory because you work for it.
Biafra is only asked for. Every night and day he's shouting and pointing to one direction. But his own people are blind and saying it's causing division. Tell me why someone who sacrificed his life for you and I. Tell me why out of sight has become out of our mind. He's asking for nothing and cares about not for his people emancipation. But there is a breaking news to those who never knew. Permit me to give you a clue. In the morning sun will rise. There is a breaking news to those who never knew. Permit me to give you a clue. The morning sun will rise. time and think what he's going through. He doesn't want to give up but to protect you, even when they throw him African juju. Oh no, yeah, yeah. Free Nnamdi Kanu now. Let me hear you sing. Free Nnamdi Kanu now. Free Nnamdi Kanu. Free Nnamdi Kanu now. Free Nnamdi Kanu now. Because of envy, we love him, he's one and only. We follow him because he's ready.
You hate Okenkere because of envy. You hate Okenkere because your brain know they work well. You hate Okenkere because of hatred, backstabbing, and you're evil. You hate Okenkere for no just reason. Because if you are asked, why do you hate him? You cannot even tell anything. But look at what is on the screen. Is it not a shame to some of you that the person that you hate is the one that is giving you results? So looking at the publication on the screen, you hate Nkere because of envy. You hate Nkere because of your stupidity. You hate Nkere because you are a fool. Yes. Because if you are not a fool, you will not hate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You will not hate Simon Ekpa. You will not come and hate Nkere. That means you are a big fool.
Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
What is different from what T.Y. Danjuma is telling you now compared to what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told you? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told you, and then you called him names. Then you say, oh, it's IPOB, IPOB, IPOB. Because it's IPOB that is talking. You all connive to kidnap him in Kenya and then lock him up. Today, it is the same thing that you hear T.Y. Danjuma talking about. And today, you are running away from your communities in the north and the middle belt. The Biafra army that you all were calling criminals and terrorists have now become heroes in Nigeria. Biafra army have made Biafra land to be secured. The terrorists that have ravaged and are taking over Borno, Zamfara, Kwara, they dare not enter Biafra land now. The people that are coming to Biafra land are the Nigerian terrorists in uniforms. And as they come, they are collecting woto. Promax. Since we send off the terrorists, the governors that we have and the ministers say, oh, why do we have to send off the Boko Haram terrorists? That their aim and objective was to come and outnumber us and take our lands over. We refused. They now decided to displace them and then bring those they wear uniforms. So, to every uniform personnel that you see, Boko Haram is there, Fulani terrorist is there. Ansari terrorist group is there. How many terrorist group did Fox News tell you? They have done investigation and they discovered that there are 22 terrorist groups that exist there. So all these terrorist groups, they are coming for all of you. But Biafran people are laughing at you now. Okay. We want to go into something else now because we are trying to connect the dots and trying to explain something. And we are telling those people that paved way for the kidnapping of Onyendu and for the detention of our PM, that they don't enter one big soup. Oh, honestly, they don't enter one big soup. Yes. They don't enter one big soup. And we are going to explain something here tonight. Now, let us go back to 2027. Let us go and ask ourselves some questions. Yes. 2027, 2017, 2007. Let us go there. Let us start from here so that before you start looking for those in the north that did what and did what, you will remember where the problem started. Okay? Let's go here. That is why all the names and the faces of these idiots that you see here, all of them, all the faces of these idiots you see on the screen, all of them, the US lawmakers, they have enlisted them all. US lawmakers have enlisted them all. All these idiots that you see here on the screen, all these criminals you see here, the US lawmakers have enlisted them all on that list of accountability. They are all going to face sanctions. So, you in Biafra land, if you want to see Nnamdi Kanu tomorrow, hold all these people that you see here, both past and present, both past and present, hold them all accountable if you want to see Nnamdi Kanu. So let us visit and revisit 2017. This is 2017, September 2017. September 2017. Now, let us see what is here. They say, this file photo shows Enugu State Governor Ifeanyi, Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha, Ebonyi State Governor, and the chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum, Dave Umahi, Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano, and Abia State Governor Okezie Ikpeazu, after a recent meeting of the forum. This was 2017, September. I want you to remind yourself of where you are now. You are in 2025, October. The title of this program is Igbo Politicians Jail Nnamdi Kanu. For what? For jihad. While Boko Haram terrorists are being protected by the Fulani politicians and the governors. So what you see on the screen is that Southeast governors ban IPOB activities. You did not see where they say Fulani governors ban IPOB activities. Mbano. What did you see? It is Southeast governors ban IPOB activities. And when you, who claims to be a Southeast governor or politician and knows a little about us, you are the one that is placing bounty on our head. You're the one that is proscribing IPOB. Huh? What do you expect from the federal government of Nigeria. What do you now expect from the terrorists in Kaduna and Kanu? You are the rat that knows the route into our rooms, and you now show the route to those that do not know anything. It is a leeway for them to come in and kill our babies, women, and children. But what do you see happening today? Today, that we have taken the massacre of Christians to the US lawmakers and it is making the rounds everywhere, you can see that even the northern Fulani terrorist governors, they are coming to protect their Fulani terrorists and their integrity. They are coming to debunk the massacre that they are massacring people and slaughtering people on a daily basis. They are coming to debunk it and say that it is not about Christians, that they are not massacring Christians. Yet it is still happening every day.
Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one. Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
Sorry, and we are welcome back. So, people will say we be terrorists. Now the people we know us finish. That is why, as the US lawmakers are going to compile this list and launch the accountability, the first set of people on the list are going to be these our terrorist politicians that you see their faces here. Can you see their faces very well, right? Okay. Let us go and read the news. The governors of the East have proscribed all the activities of the indigenous people of Biafra. They called on the leaders of IPOB and they say, we are terrorists. Are you getting the point? So, the governors of Southeast have proscribed all the activities of the indigenous people of Biafra. This is 2017. And they called on the leaders of IPOB and all other aggrieved groups to articulate their position on all national issues and submit to the Committee of Governors on Igbo and the members of the National Council Assembly from the zone through the chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum. The governors of the 5 Southeast states, the governors from the 5 Southeast states took the decision during a 5-hour closed-door meeting at the government house in Enugu, which was attended by the Deputy Senate President Ike President General of Igbo, John Nwodu, and the General Officer commanding 82 Division of the Nigerian Army, Lieutenant General Adamu Abubakar. Among the resolution, I want all of you to take note of these names. So, among the resolutions made during the meeting is an appeal to the president to withdraw the military in Southeast at the moment. Yet, you are already telling Nigerian military and Nigerian government that Biafrans are terrorists. And then you're telling them to withdraw. No, it is a psychological pattern of saying something here. Although the governors reinforced their commitment to one united and indivisible Nigeria. Nasiam, the governors reinforce their commitment to one united and indivisible Nigeria. They want one Nigeria. So because they want one Nigeria, what did they do? They decided to proscribe IPOB. The IPOB, whereby you yourself that is proscribing IPOB, you are also IPOB. So because you want one united, indivisible Nigeria, the same Nigeria that has consumed many lives today, the same Nigeria that is cutting off wombs of pregnant women and removing the baby, the same Nigeria that is cutting heads of babies, women, and children on daily basis. That is the same Nigeria that the Fulefus that you call governors in Biafra land wants to be indivisible. They restated their call for the restructuring of Nigeria to achieve justice and fairness to every Nigerian. This is when? This is 2017. I am asking all of you today. Today we are in 2025. Where is the fairness? Where is the justice? Where is the equity that these idiots that all gathered here were looking for? Since 2017 to 2025, how many years is it? How many years has it been? And where are the equity? Where are the justice? Where are the fairness? Where are the peace? Where are the restructuring that has been restructured from 2017 to 2025 to give you a reassurance that Nigeria is where you can be? I'm just asking a pertinent question. The question is very simple. If you give me proof, I will stop talking about Biafra. I'll stop talking about Biafra. So here are the idiots. Also, they assured all Nigerians, indigenous and non-indigenous, in the region of their safety, adding that they have been in touch with the northern governors, the Haram, which assured them of the safety of Southeast indigenes living in the north. So, because of their interest in Nigerian politics, what they had to do is that the northern governors gave them the mandate that they must go and proscribe IPOB. That is why they came to proscribe IPOB. Because what was IPOB doing? IPOB were the one on the verge of exposing the terrorist invasion plan. As at 2017, 2013, 2012, IPOB were on this campaign of exposing and showing you and telling you about the planned terrorist invasion that is coming. So, what did the northern governors use the slaves that we have as governors to do in Biafra land? They use them and say, go and proscribe that IPOB, call them terrorists, bring their list on the paper for us so that we can kill them. That is how you saw that Nnamdi Kanu was almost killed in his house in 2017. Because of what? Because of these useless, idiotic elements that call themselves governors of the East. And this post specifically say the 5 Igbo governors, the 5 Southeast governors took this decision during a 5-hour closed-door meeting. Because of what? Their ambition of power, their ambition of remaining relevant in Nigerian politics. Just because of that, what did they do? They decided to go very far to make sure that Biafrans are all beheaded so that they can remain as governors, they can remain as senators, they can remain as ministers. Where is Ige Ekweremadu today? Is the question that I'm asking. I want all of us to come back. Let us come back to the names of the people that were mentioned here to have been part as key stakeholders in this very meeting. We heard that the Deputy Senate President, Ike Ekweremadu, was part of this meeting in the proscription of IPOB, proscribing Biafran people to be terrorists. We heard that the President General of Ohaneze Ndigbo, John Nwodu, was part and parcel of this very decision. We heard that the General Officer Commanding 82 Division of the Nigerian Army, Lieutenant General Adamu Abubakar, was here. Then all the useless governors, they follow. All because of what? They said they have had meeting with the Northern Governors Forum, and they mandated them that Biafran people, that Nnamdi Kanu, that IPOB are opening their plans of the takeover of Nigeria, of the massacre of Christians, of turning everybody into what they want to become. So they gave them a mandate. Go and proscribe the indigenous people of Biafra. Go and proscribe IPOB. Bring their names and their lists so that we can massacre them. After the proscription, it wasn't long. They did what? They invaded Nnamdi Kanu's house to kill him. It's only God that saved him and made us to see him again in Israel after a while. So, on the recent violence in the region and allegations against the military and IPOB, the governor said investigations were ongoing and appropriate action will be taken against anyone culpable. Another resolution at the meeting is that the governorship election, which has been fixed for November 18, should hold as scheduled. And this has brought us to another thing. All of you that are planning to hold elections in this November in Anambra, you will meet a brick wall. Biafran people declared independence. We conducted referendum, and then on that referendum, the result declared and gave Biafran people the power to declare their independence. So if you are planning and thinking that you will still conduct legitimacy of Nigeria in Biafra land, you are making a very big mistake. Oh. We are sounding it now that there is no election of one Nigeria in Biafra land. Take it down to Kafanchan, take it to Abuja, go there and do Nigeria there. Biafran people have declared their stance of independence. Call your friends and family and start informing them now. Before on that day now, you will start jumping from window. You say you went to cast votes. Then you saw problem and then you are jumping up and down. Stay in your house. Oh. Don't go and partake in any election. Oh. Because Biafran people will revolt. Biafran people will revolt, and it is going to be brutal. Because Biafran people have declared Biafra independence and they don't want to see anything Nigeria election in Biafra land again. Inform your friends and family and let them be aware now going forward. Accordingly, we appeal to President Muhammadu Buhari, in chief of Nigeria, to please withdraw military from Southeast. When you see them say withdraw, please. It is a way of actually telling the man, bring in more military, bring in more terrorists. Because this is when you heard of Operation Python Dance. So They brought, after this very meeting that you see them talking like this, they come out to make this proclamation. But what they actually planned inside there was to go and unleash Operation Python Dance to come and kill Biafrans and to massacre Biafrans. That is what they did. And they did it very well. So after now, Buhari unleashed Operation Python Dance on the mandate of these criminal politicians that you see here. And they came to massacre Biafrans. The defense headquarters had earlier on Friday declared IPOB a terrorist organization. Now, Haram, which people were behind it? The Igbo politicians that you see here. In a statement by Director, Defense Information, Major General John Enenche, another idiot who calls himself Igbo man, who calls himself a Biafran, working to kill his own people because of one Nigeria. The defense headquarters listed reasons for the declaration to include the formation of a Biafra Secret Service, claim formation of Biafra National Guard, and unauthorized blocking of public access roads. Others are extortion of money from innocent civilians at illegal roadblocks and militant positions, use of weapons, stone, cocktails, Molotov, machete and broken bottles, and others on military patrol on September 10, 2017. This is the same thing that the governors of today are using against you. They do this propaganda campaign. They pay everybody they have to pay in the media. They come and write in the media and tell you that Biafra people, that Biafra army, that Biafra Defense Force, that they are doing what? That they are doing roadblocks. Who are those doing roadblocks? Is it not Nigerian terrorist government that are doing roadblocks and collecting money from people? Who are those extorting people money? Is it not Nigerian terrorist government? Who are those kidnapping people and killing people? This is the same thing that they did in 2017 to blackmail Biafran people, to blackmail IPOB. And today they are on it again. Today they tell you that our generals that are fighting to defend Biafrans, that they are kidnappers, they are terrorists, they are this, they are that. They print their photos, they circulate their photos on the media. They tell some of you that if you see them and then draw the attention to one Nigerian terrorist government, that they will pay you 5 million, they will pay you 10 million, they will pay you 20 million. And some of you are happy that you will go and report your savior, which is the Biafra army, to Nigerian terrorist government, so that you collect 5 million, so that you collect 10 million, so that you collect 20 million and collect 2 million. That 2 million will kill you there immediately you go. Immediately you go and meet the terrorists in uniforms and tell them anything about Biafra army or Biafran people or Biafra Defense Forces or anybody that you say is IPOB. From that very moment, thunder will strike you from that very moment, and you will die that very time. The thunder from Biafra land will strike you instanta. You will lose your hand, lose your leg, and become crippled immediately at that very spot. Yes. So when you see this smear campaign, this is the smear campaign that have been done against Biafran people all the way from 2017. Who sponsored it? It is the Igbo terrorist governors that sponsored this smear campaign against the Biafran people. They sponsored this thing against the Biafra independence. Why? Because of their love for Fulani terrorists and their plan of jihad, so that they can make them relevant. So that they can make them relevant and for them to sit down and answer big names in politics in Nigeria. But the question they should be asking themselves is that, where is Ike today? Where is Ifeanyi Uba today? Where is Obiozo today? Where is Okwadike today? These are the questions they should be asking themselves. These are people that said Biafra will not come over their dead body, and they had to buy so that Biafra will come, because Biafra has come. Yes, it is left in your own hands and my own hands to actualize Biafra, to restore the Biafra fully, to support every means available for us to make Biafra a fruition. That is why all of you that are seated on the fence, you better come down from your fence, because the right time you did what you're supposed to have done. Come and do what you have to do so that we move forward with speed and get what we want. So IPOB has, however, denied the allegations, insisting that it is a non-violent organization. It is very, very laughable that the declaration is coming from a military intelligence officer. One, IPOB is non-violent movement. Emmanuel Kanu, the youngest brother of IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, who spoke on behalf of the group, told Channels Television in a phone interview, "We do not carry arms. We've never asked anyone to kill for us. Neither have we killed anyone. If you look at our records is clean." This was 2017. After reading all these things, I want all of you to hear from the idiots themselves. I want you to hear them speak. I want you to hear them speak. So if you want to record, you can record this place, and then can take it out. Listen to them speak now.
The governors of the Southeast have banned all activities of IPOB, calling on its leadership and all aggrieved groups to articulate their position on all national issues and submit to the Committee of Governors, Igbo, and members of the National Assembly from the zone through the chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum. The leaders met today at Government House in Ugu following the recent clash between IPOB members and the military in Abia State, which led to the death of some civilians. After the 5-hour closed-door meeting attended by the governors of the 5 Southeast states, with Imo State's governor represented by his deputy, Prince Eze Madumere, the Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu, leader of the Ohaneze Ndigbo, Nyawodo, General Officer commanding 82 Division of the Nigerian Army, Lieutenant General Adamu Abubakar. The forum came up with 11 resolutions. Amongst the resolutions are an appeal to the president to withdraw the military in the Southeast region at the moment.
In view of the prevailing security situation in the Southeast and its attendant consequences, the Southeast governors hereby resolve as follows. 1. All activities of IPOB are hereby proscribed. IPOB and all other aggrieved groups are advised to articulate their position on all national issues and submit to the Committee of Governors of Southeast, Ohaneze Ndigbo, and National Assembly member from Southeast Zone through the Chairman of Southeast Governors Forum. 2. All governors of Southeast Zone are to ensure compliance in their respective states. 3. The Southeast Governors Forum, Ohaneze Ndigbo, and National Assembly members do hereby reinforce their commitment to a united and indivisible Nigeria. 4. We also reinforce our desire for the restructuring of Nigeria, where all national issues will be discussed and amicably settled to achieve justice and fairness to every Nigerian. 5. We reiterate our earlier position that the November 18, 2017 gubernatorial election in Anambra State must hold. 6. Accordingly, we appeal to our President, our Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, to please withdraw the military in the Southeast Zone while police perform their traditional role of maintaining law and order.
Did you hear the pronouncement? Hey. Oh, Diego. It's interesting, right? It's interesting that you did not see a Fulani man wake up to proscribe Fulani. Interesting you did not see Hausa man wake up to proscribe Hausa. Interesting you did not see a Yoruba man wake up to proscribe the Oduduwa group who are talking for independence. The only people you saw are the 5 Southeast governors, as they so claim to be their names. They are the people that came out to say, we proscribe IPOB and the activities of IPOB. Why? Because of Biafra independence. And then they called on federal government to send in more terrorists in uniforms to come and do Operation Python dance in Biafra land. And they all came and killed and maimed Biafran people. If you want to be alive, if you want to see Nnamdi Kanu tomorrow, you have to go after all these governors that you see here.
All governors.
You have to go after all these people that you see here. These are your problems. These are the people that sold you all to the terrorists in Abuja. These are the people that kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu and hand over to the federal government of Nigeria. These are the people that connive with the DOS and members of the IPOB that Nnamdi Kanu was spearheading. And they made the arrangement of Nnamdi Kanu's kidnap. These are the people. They attempted to kill him in his house. They attempted to kill him in his house in Afaruku, and it did not work. So they resorted into coming back again in 2021 to finish it. But God saved his life, and he's still alive today. But they did not achieve all this alone. It was these people you see here, both present and past politicians of the Igbo extraction that you see them, that are responsible for the jailing of Nnamdi Kanu in detention. This was 2017. I am laying a precedence so that you will understand something. This is 2017, right? These are the people that led the massacre of Nnamdi Kanu in his house. Everything happened under their watch. They planned it. Now, after in 2017 that they have tried to kill Nnamdi Kanu and they did not get him killed, they ended up killing more than 28 people in his house, and God whisked him out of Nigeria. Let us now come to, this was 2017, oh, let us now come to 2021. Now we are in 2021. What do you see on the screen? We are in 2021 now. You see, when they say the rat wait for house, now him go pave way, carry the one where they outside, come inside, come show him the nooks and crannies. You saw that the last one I just showed you was 2017. The Southeast governor started the proscription of IPOB. They went to Nnamdi Kanu's house to kill him. God saved his life. He disappeared in Nigeria and then later reappeared in Israel and later came back to continue what he started. Because there was nobody that was credible enough to continue what he started while he was disappeared. In 2021 now, 75 northern groups, they placed bounty of 100 million naira on Nnamdi Kanu's head. And this money was too small. 100 million naira is what you place as bounty on the head of Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the Biafran people. the only prophet that sees and tells you what he has to tell you without any iota of fear or provocation of any kind that may deter him. No. Ezio Kubundo, he tells you the truth the way he has to tell you. And he will continue to tell you even if you have a gun pointed on his head. I want to ask all of you, Nnamdi Kanu has been on the Biafran circle since 2012. He was kidnapped and detained in 2015. They went to kill him in his house in 2017. And then God saved him. He came back alive. He did not deny or change the goalpost of Biafra since that time. And when he came back again, he did not also deny or change the goalpost. He still continued on Biafra. He was kidnapped in June 2021 by the work of these Igbo politicians that I just showed you here. They wanted to kill him, but God saved his life. And then, with over 10 days of the massacre and beatings that were done on him in Kenya, till he later was weeks chained and blindfolded down to Nigeria. Up till today, with everything that he's going through, he has not changed the goalpost on Biafra. He has not changed his mind. He's still going forward ever and backward never. When you saw him in court, he was telling you that he has been in detention for over 4 years. That it is not 1 year or 2 years that will make him change his mind on Biafra. What message did you get there? He was giving you assurance. He was bolstering your strength. He was telling you, go ahead, continue to give woto to one Nigeria. So in 2021, since you laid the foundation for the northern terrorists in 2017 by proscribing Nnamdi Kanu and proscribing Biafrans, then in 2021, the northern leaders decided to take the lead because you already have given them the way in 2017. So this time, northern leaders came out and launched their own campaign and said they placed 100 million naira bounty on Nnamdi Kanu's head. Let us read why he said they placed. They say a coalition of 75 northern groups under the aegis of the Northern Conscientious Forum has placed 100 million naira for anybody who could produce the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, for him to continue his trial over alleged treason. Now the Haram, that after they saw that the invasion of Nnamdi Kanu's house in 2017, that they did not kill him, which was the mandate that they gave to the Igbo governors who came out on that same September 2017 to say that they proscribed Biafra. So after they went to kill him in his house, they did not succeed. God whisked him away. Now, the northern terrorist groups are telling you that because they did not succeed in killing him, in 2017, they are putting bounty on his head that if you can produce him so that he will come and stand trial, because they did not succeed in killing him in 2017. Because he spoke about Biafra. Because he brought about Biafra. Are you getting the message? Who paved the way? Who paved the way? The question is, who paved the way? Who paved the way for the northern governors to go to kill Nnamdi Kanu? It was the Igbo politicians in 2017. So as they failed in killing him, and he later resurfaced again, so in 2021, they now came out to launch another smear campaign. And this time they launched it openly. They did not give it to them, the Igbo politicians, to launch it now. This time they came to launch it themselves. And when they launched this campaign, did you see the Igbo governors and the politicians come out to attack the terrorists in the north and say, why will you launch a campaign to kill Martin Nnamdi? No, they did not say. Because they knew the game they were playing. They aligned with the northern terrorist groups to make this pronouncement, and they stood behind the scene to say it. Are you getting the point? So they now went ahead. All of you should remember that we launched Eastern Security Network in 2020. So now, listen, go ahead. They say the Northern Consensus Movement specifically accused Kanu and IPOB militant wing, Eastern Security Network, of masterminding the recent spate of attacks on northern communities in Southeast. Now, you now see that their problem were the Eastern Security Network that was formed to go after the terrorists that were raping our women and children and cutting off heads of babies. Are you getting the point? So, when you now see today that ESN metamorphosed into Biafra army, and then you don't see the governors and the ministers and the senators talking about the Fulani terrorists. All they do is that they unleash everything in uniform to go after the Biafra army. You now understand the point. They are going after Biafra army because Biafra army is curtailing the excesses and the menace of the terrorists that are coming to kill our women and children. There was MOU that was signed by these governors of the East. Let me just say southern governors, that they must do everything to please the terrorists from the north. Are you getting the point? Yes. So that is why you see that even as your babies are crying, they don't bloody care. They want the terrorists from the north to take over Biafra land. Can you see that Peter Obi is going to condemn the invasion of Boko Haram terrorists in Kwara State? Is going to condemn the invasion of Boko Haram terrorists in Borno State. Is going to condemn the takeover of military barracks, the handing over by proxy. That is called the handing over of military barracks by Nigerian army to the terrorist Boko Harams. They hand over the armament. All the armament that America sell to Nigeria and sell to all countries, or they bought from all other countries, they are handing them over unofficially to Boko Haram terrorists so that they can use to launch the next phase of the attack on Christians. So, you now understand why the terrorist governors we have, their only problem is to go after Biafra army today. Because we don't have ESN again today. ESN metamorphosed into Biafra army. Their work is to make sure they take away every terrorist that is trying to invade Biafra lands. So they said that this declaration came 1 week after the declaration by Igbo Elders Council that more than 5,000 Igbo youth have been killed and over 10,000 others thrown into detention camps in the ongoing special security operation in Southeast. Which people were thrown into the prison? It is Igbo youth. Which people were killed? It is Igbo youth. Are you getting the point? But which people now came to place bounty on Igbo Biafrans again, on Igbo youth again, on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Which people came to place bounty on our head? it is Northern terrorist group. It is Northern terrorist group. So, are you understanding what is happening here? You kill people. Nigerian terrorists in uniform kill over 10,000 and threw over many into detention. And then, what is supposed to happen? Are you not supposed to be persuading the Nigerian terrorists to release the Biafran people that they have taken into custody and killed? No, but rather, what you are doing, you are placing bounty on Nnamdi Kanu's head. So you're placing bounty on the same Biafran people that have been killed by your terrorists in uniform. You're placing bounty on the same Biafran people that have been massacred. So how do you juxtapose this? How do you vary what is happening now? The question that you need to think and then tell us. This is how our politicians of Biafran extract have been very useless to us. Yes. This is how our politicians have been very useless. They have been very useless to the point that what happened? They aid and abet the massacre of Biafran people. This is why I am telling all of you as Biafrans that your problem is not far-fetched. Before these 75 northern terrorist groups came to place bounty on a Biafran head, a Biafran leader, they said because they could not kill him in 2017, that when they went to his house, they did not get him to kill. So what should happen then? That you should collect 100 million naira and look for the head of Nnamdi Kanu and bring for them, because they did not succeed in killing him in 2017. So when they gave this mandate, that is when you saw that IPOB, DOS, Igbo governors and politicians, and all those that are hungry and have been looking for opportunity to enrich themselves, they swung into action. Yes, they swung into action so that they can collect 100 million naira bounty on the head of Nnamdi Kanu. They worked very hard to see that they kidnap Nnamdi Kanu and then bundle him and hand him over to Nigerian terrorist government. And it did not stop there. When they succeeded in kidnapping Nnamdi Kanu, the Igbo politicians made sure that IPOB, in connection with Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, in connection with his brother Kanu, that they did not make the kidnapping of Nnamdi Kanu known since on the 18th of June 2021 to on the 28th of June 2021, when he was blindfolded and chained and weeks into the court. We got to get the news when Showore went to court. That was when Showore raised the alarm, when he saw that this is Nnamdi Kanu that is being chained, blindfolded, and weeks into this court. But what happened from the 18th of June 2021 to 28th of June 2021? What happened? What happened was that these Igbo governors, they made sure that after the kidnap, they made every arrangement by IPOB, DOS, and Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, Ejiofor, and Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu's brother, that they placed somebody to use Nnamdi Kanu's Twitter's account. They placed somebody there to use Nnamdi Kanu's Twitter's account to continue to tweet. Yes, that's what they did. He placed somebody to use Nnamdi Kanu's Twitter account to continue to tweet and to be talking to Biafrans and deceiving Biafrans. That is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that is still talking. I want all of you to watch. This is the 19th. This is the 18th of June 2021. On this very day, was the day they kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We were supposed to have meeting with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on the 20th. Yes. And he was also supposed to come live either on the 19th or 20th or 21. So when everybody did not see him, they calm everybody down. And then we continued seeing his post. And then it gave us hope. We say, oh, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is okay. When he's ready, we'll speak. But Kanu with Igbo governors, Igbo politicians, and DOS members, they continued to make somebody in IPOB DOS to use Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's Twitter account while he had been kidnapped and was beaten to stupor and he passed out. Somebody was using his Twitter account to tweet from on the 18th. From on the 18th, the person tweeted on the 19th, going. On the 19th, going. And everything tweeted was all about Buhari, 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 Buhari. Buhari became the only topic. Then, on the 22nd, he now entered IPOB and ESN. IPOB and ESN. IPOB and ESN. Till on the 26th, still IPOB and ESN. 27, they continued when they said we have to be praying. 27th of our prayers from the book of Psalms. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had declared prayer. They continued to use it to brainwash us. On the 28th, they tweeted on that same day, 28th. They tweeted on that same day. Look at the time there. So they were now shocked when they sat down and saw that the agreement and the plan that they had with Nigerian government has been thwarted. They were shocked and disappointed. Why should Nigerian government bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to Nigeria after the agreement was to kill him in Kenya, while they will continue to use his Twitter account to tweet to Biafrans, deceive Biafrans, and buy time? They will be buying time, while they will kill him, dump the body somewhere. They will allow the body to decompose. After the body decomposes, before they will later come to make the announcement. And then they will say they don't know how he died. They found the body in a trash bin, while they continue to use his Twitter account to talk to all of you and to deceive you. This was a calculated plan. This was well orchestrated. By who? By Igbo governors and the DOS and those that all surrounded Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is why you all should know your problems and then target your problems. Stop going to lay your hands and hold on what is not your problems. Deal with your problems that you have within first. That is why, at this very time, we are not taking it lightly with any internal saboteur who is working to sabotage the process of Biafra independence. The fact that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped and almost killed in 2017, then when he came back, he did not do anything about it. He gave the opportunity to these terrorist politicians that we have to continue to do more, because they claim and know, oh, is it not Nnamdi Kanu? Is it not Biafran people? We will kill him. Nothing will happen. So they decided to embark on another war in 2021. The same way, since then, nothing has happened to them. They continue to walk the street of Biafra. Their families continue to walk the street of Biafra. They fly out of Nigeria and come back anytime they like. They do whatever they like. They continue to walk freely. Nobody is asking them questions. Because of that, what did they do? They decided to stretch the same hand that they stretch and use on Nnamdi Kanu to use on Simon Ekpa in 2023. In 2023, they send some of you to assemble in Finland and do protests and submit petition against Simon Ekpa. Why? Because of Biafra independence. They did not organize Fulani brothers or Yoruba brothers to go and do protests against Biafra in Finland. They organized you, you that call yourself a Biafran. You are the one that were organized to go and protest against Biafra in Finland. You are the same one that was organized to go and testify against Biafra in court in Finland. You're the same one that was organized to go and testify against Biafra inside the Nigerian terrorist court in Abuja against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So, because Mazi Simon Ekpa, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not do anything about all of you saboteurs and sabotages that you have done, that is why you all continue to think that it is business as usual. No, Mbano. Mbano. You guys should know that there is a new sheriff in town, and that sheriff is called the Punisher. That sheriff is called the Punisher. APM the Punisher. APM the Punisher is the name. So none of you will go scot-free. You see, we will hold these people accountable in America and in the international world, and Biafran people will hold them accountable back home as well for the killing, the abduction, the massacre, and the genocide, and the kidnapping of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and other Biafrans. Biafran people will hold all of you accountable back home, while we in diaspora, we will hold you accountable here in diaspora as well. So, Biafrans, if you want Biafra freedom, identify and know the people that have been your problems for years. The people that the terrorists in the far north are using. Did you see what I read from here? These people you see here who call themselves our politicians, they created the way for the terrorists to have a safe haven on the massacre of Biafrans. They came down here and told you that they had meeting with the northern governors and that they have agreed that they should come and implement what they are doing against the Biafran people. They had meeting with the northern governors. Look at them here. They had meeting with the northern governors. They had meeting with the northern governors. So because they had meeting with the northern governors, they have given them the mandate of what to do. So upon that, they had to come and implement what they implemented. Then they gave you, and they gave the Fulani terrorists the license to do their own and to come out and do the speaking in 2021, while they themselves led the declaration of the proscription in 2017. So they gave the terrorists the license. The terrorists now clamp on it, and then they made use of it in 2021 to come and kill Onyendu again, after they tried to kill him in 2017 and did not succeed. Mind you, don't forget the key point that the 75 northern terrorist groups looked into, and then they used it as excuse to place bounty on Nnamdi Kanu's head. Look at it here. They said that because they were unable to kill him in 2017 when they invaded his house in Afarogo, when they killed over 28 persons. So because they were unable to kill him to succeed, so they want you to bring him back for him to come and stand trial, to continue to face treason, felony trial. While Boko Haram terrorists who are killing you on a daily basis, they are wearing weapons and sitting down openly in public and negotiating with the federal government of Nigeria. Are you getting the point? They are sitting down and shaking hands with the federal government of Nigeria, demanding 100 million, 150 million, 200 million, and how much they have to give them so that they can make ends meet. These are the demands that the Fulani terrorists are giving to Nigeria. And they get them all the way they want it. But the foolish ones that we call Igbo politicians, they decided to jail Nnamdi Kanu so that jihad can happen, so that the terrorist invasion can happen. We are asking all of them now, how are you enjoying Nigeria from Abuja? You see, all of you in Abuja, you will all be sent out. Yes. You will all be sent out. So from here now, you can understand that Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped as a result of speaking for the Christians in Nigeria, because he was exposing the massacre against Christians. He was explaining something and telling the Biafran people, this is what is going to happen. This is what is coming to happen. So they saw that he was opening the eyes of people. So they sent the terrorists to kidnap him, because he was preaching and telling you about the massacre that is coming. Are you getting the point? Okay. Because he preached. Because he told. Now, if it was not because he preached about the same thing that Senator Ted Cruz is talking about, why will northern leaders place bounty on his head? What is the connivance or the collaboration of northern leaders to Biafra land? What is it? What is it? Explain. Because of the fact that Nnamdi Kanu was exposing and calling on everybody to the reality of the massacre of Christians by the terrorists that controls Nigeria. Are you understanding the point? Aha. Okay. Nigerian Christians are being targeted and executed for their faith. By who? Islamist terrorists, jihadists. So because Nnamdi Kanu spoke up, he now became a prisoner of what? Jihad. He became a prisoner of jihad. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now became a prisoner of jihad. They are actually implementing Sharia law. They are implementing Sharia law on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is what they are doing, implementing Sharia law on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. By doing what? Capture him, kidnap him, and lock him up. Why? Because he denounced the massacre that is happening. He exposed the plan of the terrorists to take over the entire Christendoms. The same thing that Senator Ted Cruz is doing now is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was doing for all Christians. The same thing that Charlie Kirk was doing is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is doing for Christians in Nigeria. So you now understand why the 75 northern terrorist groups who stood up and used the Igbo politicians to kidnap Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Are you getting the point? Biafran people, this is not time for you to start saying the God of Biafra will go after them. Oh, the God of Thunder will go after them. No. Prayer works for those that put prayer into work. If you don't use what you have to put what you want into work, if you like, be praying from January to December. You will pray like our forefathers have prayed. You will pray like those that we have come to see living in Nigeria have prayed. They pray and they will say Nigeria will get better, Nigeria will get better. Now they are all dying. They are all dying, and Nigeria has not gotten better because they refuse to identify the thing that they need to use so that Nigeria can get better. Nigeria needs enforcement. Nigeria needs forceful hand. Nigeria needs iron hand. So if you're sitting down to wait that God will come down from heaven to do it for you, you are wasting your time. The terrorists that are massacring Christians every day, they don't wait for God to come down from heaven to do it. So you, if you know what is good for yourself, start getting what you need to use to defend yourself and to repel those that are coming to massacre your babies, women, and children. Hold these terrorist Igbo governors, both past and present politicians, accountable, because they are the problems of Biafran people. Yes, because before Fulani terrorist governors will have the power to write any letter against you or to publish anything or to come out to give a press briefing against you, your fathers, your mothers, and your siblings must have given them go ahead. That is why you need to wake up. Wake up and weed off the kind of fatherhood that is causing your death. If you have a fatherhood and a motherhood that is causing your death, go and weed them off if you want to be alive. If you don't want to be alive, continue doing prayer and let the prayer be falling on top of the tree. Heaven help those who help themselves. This is Biafra. We have to support our Biafra Defense Forces and remind everybody that there is no election of one Nigeria in Biafra land. The only election that should hold in Biafra land is the election that Biafran people will conduct themselves when they have taken over the homeland. For now, they are still fighting for total liberation and the takeover. One Nigeria election is not validated in Biafra land. Don't go and become a scapegoat so that the Nigerian terrorist government will not kill you on that day and use you to do sacrifice. Now, we have to pray for our leaders, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa. There has been those that think that they can use juju and do sacrifice, and sacrifice cow, and sacrifice chicken, and sacrifice goat, and sacrifice human being to do juju using the names and the head and the face of our leaders. I want to be very clear so that Biafran people will understand me very well. Biafran people have to pray, and the prayer you have to pray is to destroy what they have done using the name of our leaders. Our Prime Minister is in detention. Our Supreme Leader is in detention. They are all in prison. But there are people that are working so hard to destroy what they left on ground. And as we are resisting them, they are not just fighting a physical fight. They are also going into spiritual. The spiritual aspect that they have gone into is that they go into doing barbaric sacrifices. And they use the name of our Prime Minister. They use the name of our Supreme Leader to manipulate many things on their heads. So on this very day, we are making a formal announcement to Biafran people. You have to embark on prayer to destroy every juju that they are doing behind the scene, whatever they are sacrificing, and calling on the name of our Prime Minister and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And also doing whatever they are doing so that they will not come out. This is spiritual fight. And everybody should listen to what you're going to do. We want them to understand that the same God of life is that God that gives vision. The same God of life is that God that opens the eye of men and women. The same God of life is the God of light. It is still God that created a dark age, and He is still the one that created lamplight. He is still the one that created sun and moon and sea and air and fire. So, to those saboteurs and to those who think that they have landed, after you have gone to juju, after you have used the name of our Prime Minister and the name of Onyendu to do whatever you're doing, Biafran people are going to neutralize what all of you have done going forward. Biafran people, for you to destroy whatever they have done, your prayer will go for 1 week. And it is not a prayer of Bible. Listen to me. It is a prayer of life. Life. Where can you get life? Where can you get life? Life is embedded in egg. Yes. You use egg to do prayer. When you use egg to do prayer, break that egg. You can break it on the floor of your house, in your bedroom or outside, anywhere or backyard. And your prayer should be that God that gives life, and there is life in this egg. The God of fire, the God of thunder, the God of air, land, and sea, the God of the soil, the God that encompasses everything in this life. Wherever they went to sit down to do the juju and sacrifice things, and they use the name of our prime minister and the name of our supreme leader. This egg that contains life, you are using it as a point of connection to break and shatter their plans and let everything backfire on their head and let there be disgrace. You break the egg. Every day, do the prayer and break the egg. 1 egg a day. If you are close to the water side, very good. When you do the prayer, let your legs be inside water while you break the egg. Even if your egg cannot be broken by the water side, after you do the prayer, if your legs are inside the water, the sea, throw the egg inside that water. But do the prayers. Okay? Do these prayers for good 1 week. You are to do this prayer to destroy the evil juju and the plans that the enemies of Biafra have gone to do with the name of your prime minister, our prime minister, my prime minister, our supreme leader, your supreme leader, my supreme leader, Nnamdi Kanu. Let me repeat the announcement again. There has been plan by the enemies of Biafra. They are doing juju and they are using the name of our prime minister and our supreme leader to do juju. They do sacrifice. The plan is that our leaders will not come out and they will keep them there and they will continue to cause more havoc and more pain. Are you getting the point? That is why many of them are not happy about the progress that BRGIE are making. Because if you say you were for Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu is in detention, Prime Minister is in detention, and then it's only BRGIE that is serving as the eye of the Biafran people. And they are making exploit in Washington, D.C. They are making exploit back home. They are making exploit everywhere. You don't want to come and give your support. You want to destroy. They are making incantations and prayer and sacrifices to see that our Prime Minister don't come out and to see that more problems emanate in his case and any other thing that may come up. That is why you see many of them writing memo, calling his name and putting his name everywhere in the media. Whatever they are doing, they are putting his name because they want to implicate him the more. The same thing they are doing to Nnamdi Kanu so that he will not come out. So we are going to do the prayer and break that same evil that they did. The prayer goes with egg. You use egg because egg represents life. There is life inside of it. Even a woman that is to conceive, it is until your egg is formed before you know that you have life already formed. And when that egg is broken, it means the life is broken, the life is destroyed. So we are using the egg as a connecting rod. We are using it as a point of contact to talk to Chukwu Kikabiama, to destroy the evil plans of the enemies of Biafra on the heads of our leaders. So you use this 1 egg to do prayer every day, that God will return everything they have done on their heads back to sender. You break the egg. It is best done if you can be at the water side while you're doing the prayers. If you cannot be at the water side, do it in your house. Burst the egg in your room, or burst it at your veranda, or burst it in your bedroom. Then you leave it there for some time. Until later when it dries up, you can come and clean it off. Do this for good 1 week. Spiritual battle needs spiritual prayers. No be so. Physical one needs physical prayer also. The one wey need bullet, you go use bullet also. So the enemies of Biafra, the enemies of our PM and our supreme leader should know that that same place that you go, they do juju for you to destroy Biafra. There are still people from that same place that are praying for Biafra to come. That same place you go to do juju for you to destroy our PM and destroy our supreme leader and to destroy Biafra. There are people in that same place that are praying for Biafra to come. That is the message. So don't take the Biafra cause for granted. Okay? Know ye that Biafra is more than me, is more than my prime minister, is more than my supreme leader, is more than my APM, is more than individual Biafrans. Because it is Biafra first. It is for all Biafrans, not for me alone, not for you alone. If you know what is good for you, many of you should retrace your steps. So, if you don't retrace your steps, some of you will go mad. You will go mad in the streets. Some of you will go mad in the streets if you don't retrace your steps. All of you that are walking through Juju house, thinking that you will use Juju house to do whatever you think will work for you to destroy Biafra. Everything will backfire. Oh. Everything will backfire. Oh. Some people will go mad. Oh. I talk my own like this. Everything will backfire. Oh. People will go mad. Oh. My own. I know they talk too much. Oh. I don't know how to brag. I don't deliver message where Biafra people say make I deliver. I salute all of you. We may likely be back tomorrow. And I want to use this opportunity to appreciate Biafrans in Canada who made it happen yesterday. And Biafrans in America who came to support. Biafrans in Europe, Biafrans in UK who came to support. We appreciate all of you. And I want to assure all of you that we have to do more because Biafra is here and our enemies are increasing day by day. They are not reducing, or instead they are increasing. There's one thing you need to understand is that when you make success in life, your challenges will increase. Your challenges will not reduce. Mbano. Your challenges will increase the more. So that is why we are open and ready to see and to face more and more challenges ahead of us. So please, we need to see more commitment, more reunification, and more reconciliation from all Biafrans. Most especially those of you that are in Europe that are still seated on the fence, come down from the fence. Those of you in UK that are still on the fence, come down from the fence. Those of you in US that are still on the fence, come down from the fence. I wonder what would have been the fate of Nnamdi Kanu and our Prime Minister today without the existence of BRGIE that is standing our ground to this very day. Some of you should also think, since you went to sit down on the fence, what good has happened to the Biafran people? Since you went to sit down on the fence, how has things been better to you? Do you go and come back and then see that the people that used to die before, they don't die in the hands of the terrorists? No. The terrorist capitalizes on your weaknesses to increase the attack and the invasion. So, if I were you, that BRGIE have opened the nyash of Nigeria in Washington, D.C., bare, this would have been the right time for you to come down from your high horse and come and join hands to give all your support, because we need all of you. Yes, we need all of you. So come down from your high horse. Our arms are wide open. Come and give what you have. Come and contribute what you have. Come and help financially, mentally, socially, logistically, and otherwise. We need everybody. We need everybody. We need all. We need all. We need your support. Thank you very much, and let us continue. Our PDF, we salute all of you for your good works. Those that did not appreciate your works before, they can see it now. That it is only in Biafra land that people are not running away from the ancestral land to Cameroon. All kudos to the existence of Biafra Defense Forces. So everybody should come and support so that we can do more and can have more success. This is the opportunity to bring Nigeria terrorists to an end so that all Christians can have a life. I salute all of you and see you all tomorrow. They will from here.
Biafra is only asked for. Every night and day he's shouting and pointing to one direction. But his own people are blind and saying it's causing division. Tell me why someone who sacrificed his life for you and I. Tell me why out of sight has become out of our mind. He's asking for nothing and cares about not for his people emancipation. No. But there is a breaking news to those who never knew. Permit me to give you a clue. In the morning sun will rise. There is a breaking news to those who never knew. Permit me to give you a clue. The morning sun will rise. He doesn't care about nothing and abandon his family. Oh. Take your time and think what he's going through. He doesn't want to give up but to protect you. Even when they throw him African juju. Oh no, yeah. Oh. Free up the cannon now. Let me hear you sing. Free up the cannon now. The cannon now. The cannon now. You hate him because of envy. We love him, he's one and only. We follow him because he's ready to die for the freedom of his people. Whatever he said, it's a prophecy. Take it on, you live it, let you believe. He's so fanatical and ever ready to die for the freedom of his people. There is a breaking news to those who never knew. Permit me to give you a clue. In the morning sun will rise. There is a breaking news to those who never knew. Permit me to give you a clue. The morning sun will rise. Bring up Nnamdi Kanu now. Free 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 Nnamdi Kanu.